Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me, because today we're unpacking a really fascinating case study in real estate value. We're looking at the city of Weston, Florida. We're going to look closely at what it literally means to buy into a master plan community and why certain markets completely defy the traditional rules of real estate economics. If you've ever looked at housing markets and wondered, why do people eagerly pay top dollar for strict community rules? Well, you are going to love this breakdown. So here's a provocative question I want you to just keep in the back of your mind as we go through this explainer. Is living in a heavily governed, HOA-mandated city actually the smartest real estate move you can make? For a lot of buyers, especially those relocating down to South Florida, the initial reaction to high homeowners association fees is just pure sticker shock. They see the monthly dues, and their first instinct is to run for the hills. But what if that instinct is entirely wrong? To really understand the premium, we've got to look at the numbers. As of recent data, the median property value in Weston sits at a massive $695,600. That is literally more than double the national average. And here's the kicker. Buyers aren't just reluctantly paying this premium. They are actively fighting for inventory in these neighborhoods. So the absolute crucial point we need to figure out is what exactly is driving this massive demand, and why do buyers see so much value in a market governed almost entirely by strict HOAs? Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Welcome to Weston. 2. Decoding the HOA fees. 3. Master planned versus non-HOA. 4. The Cleveland Clinic effect. 5. Life inside the gates. And 6. The final verdict. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. Welcome to Weston, the master planned marvel. Unlike cities that just kind of sprawl and grow organically over decades, Weston was meticulously planned from the ground up back in the 80s and 90s. And wow, that blueprint clearly worked. Just look at these baseline stats. We've got a massive 73% home ownership rate, which tells us residents are deeply invested in their community, right? They aren't just transient. The median household income is a very robust $139,825. Plus, U.S. News & World Report recently ranked Weston as the number 3 best place to live in all of Florida for 2025 to 2026 and the 9th safest place nationwide. Combine that with a school district that consistently pulls A ratings across the board, and you quickly realize this is a highly desirable, super affluent community. Section 2. Decoding the HOA fees. What are you actually buying? Ah yes, the elephant in the room. Pretty much every potential buyer relocating to South Florida asks some variation of this exact question. Why on earth would I pay hundreds a month in HOA fees on top of my mortgage, taxes, and insurance? If you come from a non-HOA neighborhood, it kind of just feels like an arbitrary tax. But in Weston, you actually have to reframe your thinking completely. And this right here perfectly illustrates why. In Weston, the HOA actually replaces a lot of municipal services. You aren't just paying an extra fee, you're making a real, tangible investment in your neighborhood's infrastructure. Most of these communities are totally private. That means your HOA fee is paying for 24/7 manned guardhouses, like real staffed security, not just a camera on a pole. It pays for professional landscaping that keeps the common areas looking immaculate year-round. It covers the upkeep of the private roads, the maintenance of the sprawling lake and stormwater systems, and it funds reserves so you aren't suddenly hit with massive surprise bills for future repairs. Let's move to Section 3, Master Planned versus Non-HOA, the real math. So let's put this to the test and look at the real math behind it. When buyers see a $250 a month HOA fee, they naturally assume the non-HOA home in a neighboring city is just way cheaper. But honestly, that's rarely an apples-to-apples comparison. If you buy in a non-HOA neighborhood, you're paying out of pocket to replicate the Weston lifestyle. You'll easily drop $150 to $300 a month on private gym or pool club memberships for your family. If you want private security patrols, that is an entirely separate massive expense. In Weston, the HOA actually acts as a bundled, bulk discounted subscription to all of those amenities and services. Now, what's really interesting here is just how efficient this bundling can be. Take Weston's largest community, Savannah, for example. For as little as $150 to $160 a month, residents get 24/7 guardhouse security, maintenance for 88 cul-de-sacs, and access to a massive clubhouse that has 4 pools, a water slide, miniature golf, and sports courts. Trying to replicate that level of security and recreation independently for $150 a month? It's mathematically impossible. Section 4, the Cleveland Clinic effect, the hidden value anchor. The amenities are really only half the story. Just look at this incredible quote from the analysts at This Is South Florida. Access to healthcare is becoming a new standard for value in Western real estate. The nearby Cleveland Clinic in Weston isn't just a hospital. The data shows it has fundamentally shifted the real estate demand in this specific pocket of Broward County. Buyers are increasingly making proximity to top-tier healthcare a top 3 priority. Because of this shift, homes within a 5-mile radius of the Cleveland Clinic are already trading at a serious premium. And here's why this matters to you. It creates a rock-solid economic anchor. While coastal condo markets might see dips in volatility, Weston stays remarkably strong. Why? Because there's a constant influx of high-net-worth buyers, retirees, and medical professionals who absolutely must live near this world-class facility. It basically acts as an invisible shield for property values. All right, Section 5, Life Inside the Gates, a day in the life. Since Weston was master planned, there is literally a specific village tailored exactly to you. Seriously, whether you want affordability and fun in Savannah with its awesome resort water slide, or you want proximity to schools in the Ridges where you can just walk your kids to class. If you're an executive looking for luxury and golf, well, Weston Hills offers stunning estates going up to $3 million and beyond. Or if you want a more modern feel with a state-of-the-art gym, the Isles at Weston has you covered. The HOA structure is exactly what allows each community to maintain its highly specific, curated vibe. And hey, speaking of families, we absolutely have to touch on the schools because they are a massive driver of demand here. Take Cypress Bay High School. They consistently crush state standards. We're looking at an 88% proficiency in U.S. history, 85% in biology, and 84% in geometry. Parents will happily pay a premium to guarantee their kids get access to this level of public education, completely reinforcing those property values in neighborhoods like the Ridges. So, when you put the whole shebang together, what does that day actually look like? Picture this. At 7:30 a.m., you're confidently waved through your 24/7 manned guard gate. By 8 a.m., you've dropped the kids off at the A-rated Cypress Bay High. At 3 p.m., you're relaxing at a gorgeous resort-style pool that you don't even have to clean or maintain yourself. And by 7 p.m., you're enjoying a peaceful walk along flawlessly manicured lakes. Your HOA fees are directly translating into a seamless, incredibly high-quality daily experience. Which brings us to Section 6, the final verdict. Is the premium worth it? All right, we've synthesized the financial data, we've looked at the healthcare anchors, and we've explored the lifestyle benefits. The answer really relies entirely on this concept of bundled value. You have to reframe the HOA fee in your mind. It is not a tax. It's a bulk discounted subscription to security and amenities. But more importantly, it's a subscription to strict aesthetic rules. Those covenants, conditions, and restrictions that tell you what color you can paint your house or exactly where you can park your boat, those are exactly what prevent deferred maintenance in your neighborhood. They aggressively protect your massive financial investment from being dragged down by a bad neighbor. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. Considering the world-class healthcare anchor, the A-rated schools, and the ironclad property value protection provided by master planning, ask yourself, are you buying near the clinic right now, or are you sitting on the sidelines waiting for a market dip that may never actually come? The data clearly suggests that Weston's value equation is rock solid. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. I hope this completely changes how you view master plan living.